Siri_bot is here. Saribo arrive. Bot Rix has successfully joined the channel.
And their opponents, the team of I Show Speed and the World Tag Team Champions, Austin Theory and Logan Paul, the Vision.
Well, at first, I Show Speed didn't even want to be involved in this situation. Inadvertently got involved, causing the Usos the tag titles, knocked out LA Knight, but he sort of bought in. We saw him training with the Vision over the past couple of weeks, but let's talk about experience. Now, I Show Speed, great athlete, we know that. However, he only has one match in WWE. That was last year's Royal Rumble match. He lasted 56 seconds back at WrestleMania 40. He dressed in that wine bottle. He got RKO'd by Orton, so not a great track record.
No, and it's been an absolute disaster for I Show Speed anytime he's got anywhere near a WWE ring. I mean, who can forget him getting broken in half in that particular Royal Rumble that you mentioned? But you're right, he's in way over his head tonight, and he needs to lean on the experience of his tag partners here in the Vision, Austin Theory, and of course the now five-time WrestleMania competing Logan Paul. Like it or not, he is a veteran at this.
I Show Speed dressed like he's Superman. But to your point, Logan Paul beat AJ Styles last year. He has 3 wins at WrestleMania.
Sometimes the spotlight just brings out the best in certain performers.
Like Austin Theory. Remember what he did a few years back at WrestleMania when he beat John Cena. He also had a ladder match for the tag titles where he won it, WrestleMania 40. Theory's got some experience as well.
Yes, indeed, and this is a very different version of Austin Theory, one who was far more laser focused. Put the nonsense to one side, thanks of course to Paul Heyman and the Vision.
Of course, the Vision, Paul and Theory knocked off the Usos back at the end of March to win the World Tag Team titles, thanks to I Show Speed. And the Usos with a double super kick wipes out the Vision, and that leads I Show Speed to start things off with LA Knight. There's some beef here.
Oh, well, the game plan was in right from the start here. This is the man they really want right off the bat, the man who's caused them so many problems over the past several weeks. Nowhere to hide now, Speed. Let's see what you got.
And I Show Speed with a side headlock to control LA Knight in the early going. I'll tell you momentarily.
I'll tell you right now, that is day one wrestling school stuff. If this gets any deeper, he may struggle. However, we're starting to see that athleticism. Has really made a Show Speed, and it could be game over from here.
Well, he was showing off a bit, and LA Knight made him pay. Again, you see the athleticism when it comes to I Show Speed, no doubt about that.
Well, it's a it's a huge benefit in that ring as Logan Paul now gets clocked to the outside, but keep your eye on Speed.
Oh, and a power slam by Speed.
Speed showing he's been paying attention, whatever he's been learning, but don't take your eye off the megastar.
Yeah, you can't prematurely celebrate when it comes to WWE.
Twitch streamers are now WWE superstars.
Certainly not against someone the caliber of an LA Knight.
LA Knight bringing Logan Paul now into the ring as I Show Speed retreated. And bouncing Paul off the top turnbuckle. Again, LA Knight with quite the history with the Vision over the past year.
The servers are going to be going down at some point today.
Ryan Tran warning LA Knight as he stomps away on Logan Paul in the corner.
And that's part of the issue here at WrestleMania. Adrenaline is running high for everyone, not least, of course, the competitors in the ring. You have to pay attention to the rules.
And again, main event Jey Uso, who last year at WrestleMania shocked the world when he won the World Heavyweight Championship with a win over the Ring General Gunther, who we'll see later on tonight in the match with Seth Rollins. Double team by the Usos.
As fluid as water. So
Oh, are you gonna go
instant
now, or do you want to go
chemistry with the
later?
Usos.
Covered by Jimmy, hooks the leg, and
You
Logan
just ate.
kicks
You're gonna
out
get
at 2.
Pablo
Together
now.
since the womb. That is why they are unsurpassed in the tag ranks here at WWE.
4 wins at WrestleMania as a tag team. Of course, the Usos, second-generation stars. Their father, Rikishi, appeared at WrestleMania
There
one
was
year.
a tag there, and
Oh, Theory!
Jimmy Uso did not see the tag at all behind his back.
Now Austin Theory,
Shows you
That
with
would've been
attitude and
my
all.
friend.
smart move that was from Austin Theory, laying in wait and dropping the hammer at exactly the right time.
Tag made. Here comes Logan Paul. Did you say something about a match never being won by a power slam?
Body slam.
Body slam. Did you forget Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3?
Takes you 10
Followed
years
up
to
by a
win
leg
there.
drop. Come on, Michael Cole. I got a great memory for this. You ain't
Can I do that
beating me
too?
right at the start. Later on in the
Can I
show,
do
when I'm
this too?
tired,
Wait, come here,
maybe.
come here, come here, come here.
Elevation celebrating
What the hell?
Logan and Theory. I'll tell you, Theory has become a changed man
love it.
since joining the Vision under the tutelage of Paul Heyman. He calls himself the Pressure. Says he used to let the pressure get to him. Now he feeds off the pressure.
Talk about a guy who feeds off pressure. Logan Paul loves it, and if I Show Speed's going to get anywhere in this game, using Logan Paul's career as the blueprint would be a pretty smart thing to do. Beat too long, thinking it over there, and that was smart in a sense from Speed. Listen to the veterans, just pull it off a touch quicker.
But again, when you don't have a lot of matches, Wade, I mean, you're going to think, right? You're not just going through it.
Yeah, nothing is automatically for Show Speed, and it really has shown from the off in this one. He knows how to do the moves, but pulling them off crisply, very different equation.
Get it away!
Logan Paul, who has proved himself to be among the best.
Motherfucker!
Social media superstar turned world tag team champion, full-time WWE superstar now. Body shots delivered to Jimmy.
Yeah, let's face it, he's one hell of a boxer too. One of the biggest right hands in the game here in WWE. Jimmy Uso has been knocked for 6 in the corner.
And not to forget, that right hand has got a titanium plate in it. And now, Jimmy Uso, corkscrew moonsault off the top rope, takes out Paul, both men down.
And here is a pivotal moment for both teams. Who can make the tag first? Who can get a fresh man into this?
Jey Uso trying to rally his brother Jimmy to the corner to make a tag.
Huge turning point in the match. This could be where it's won or lost. And both men make the tag.
And now Jey Uso and Austin Theory. These two have been at each other for many months now. And now, got caught. Showboating a bit, but Jey lands on his feet. Off the ropes. Spear! Cover! And Austin just rolled out of the way. And that, and Logan Paul's able to break things up, but Theory just moving out of the way momentarily may have cost Jey the match. Nice gut wrench suplex by Paul.
Great instincts.
May have cost Jey the match. Nice gut wrench suplex by Paul.
I don't know.
Why do you sit so high up? You don't need to be sitting up so high.
Where? You really called it?
Genuinely.
You really called the bitch at me for that?
Yeah, because why are you sitting where your fucking head is touching the top of your head is touching the top of the ceiling? What do you mean?
It's not, but okay.
You sit up way too high.
Alright, cool. Love you too. Thank you for yelling at me. Is that all? Yell
Yeah,
at me.
that's it, because you drive like a retard.
Cool. Alright, good talk.
Okay, love you.
Love you, bye.
Great instincts there from Logan Paul. People might not like him, but he is so good inside that ring and only getting better. And this one's breaking down in a big way now.
Yeah, Theory with a big left hand. Jey Uso back into the ring and sent shoulder first into the post.
That could be the end of Jey Uso right there. That's a separated shoulder. Uh-oh.
ISO Speed trying to get out of harm's way. Not going to happen. Oh, maybe it is.
Nice head scissors there from ISO Speed, but again, celebrating too hard.
Went for the BFT. Speed just sent Knight into Paul.
Smart reversal there from Speed. Saved himself and the match for his team, but wait up.
Push him into it. Get up. Get up. Get out. Get up.
I don't think Speed did that on purpose, Wade.
He certainly did not. However, that's not how Austin Theory saw it.
Threw you into that computer. Hit the rope. Come on. Wow, hit the rope. Get to his corner. Hit it. You gotta get the corner.
Now Theory into Speed. BFT. Cover by Knight. And Knight and the Usos win.
Here are your winners, the team of the Usos and LA Knight.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that has not sat well with the Vision. A major victory after that BFT, but things went to hell in a handbasket because ISO Speed simply didn't execute the plan correctly.
Well, he was being bullied by the Vision.
You cost me my mania. You had one job.
Well, there's that titanium plate in the right hand I was talking about. I like how Logan Paul just tosses Speed to the curb.
Job. My mania. Austin's mania. And you ruined it. Come here.
I mean, ISO Speed does not deserve to be treated like this. I mean, he was willing to tag up with Paul and Austin Theory of the Vision for this match tonight. And now Logan Paul, I think, is going to make Speed pay some more.
You know as well as I do, winning and losing at this level, there are consequences.
Professional wrestling, you moron.
And ISO Speed has to learn that the hard way. This is just a mugging now, a vicious assault.
You said that right. Logan Paul calling Speed a moron.
Logan Paul's got those crazed eyes. He came here tonight to win. He does not accept losses, not in front of the eyes of the world. And ISO Speed.
Well, wait, I think Paul's going to go up top looking for a Paul from Grayson. Meanwhile, Jey Uso sends Paul into the ropes. 1D! And Logan Paul sent to the floor.
Come here. Come here, my man. You good? You good?
An unlikely saver there for ISO Speed. Is he now in the thick of the lion's den?
No way.
Oh, God. This may get ugly here.
The Usos encouraging ISO Speed to climb up to the top rope as LA Knight holds Logan Paul down on the table.
Don't do it, Speed. That's a long way.
Logan Paul is out. LA Knight and the Usos celebrating with show speed, and that had to feel good after he was bullied throughout this match tonight by the Vision.
I promise you, it didn't feel good. He'll enjoy watching it back, but that was incredibly painful for show speed. But even more so, Logan Paul, who may have a crushed ribcage.
And now it's celebration time. And Speed yeeting as well. Welcome to WrestleMania. I show Speed. Look at the height. Incredible. From the top of the ring post, flying through the air. Speed with an show splash through Logan Paul, through the table. A WrestleMania moment for Speed.
What an absolutely insane thing to attempt. But if you're going to do it anywhere, do it right here at WrestleMania, when the eyes of the world are on you. Hats off, show Speed.
Since then, I've changed my... I want to hear...
For guys. Yeah, Ample...
Who will stay alive and continue to fight? It's time to start the matches in Group C.
Okay, this is it. We are ready to go into this match. I'm so excited, Artosis.
Yeah.
This is just such a special group to have these three guys here. Obviously, Ample, a welcome addition as well. I think he actually makes the group quite interesting because he could come out and win this, or maybe not. Like, I think where he places is pretty even around where Bisu and Jaedong are at.
Yeah, Ample is really good. He's been improving himself a lot lately. He's been top of the ladder for a lot of the last year, and yeah, he's strengthened his play. He's someone that's just not being talked about here, but I mean, the guy beat Solkey pretty straight up overall. So, like, we know that he can do it. And in fact, Terran versus Protoss has always been his best matchup. And it's a best of one. Don't forget, the first two matches are a best of one. Like, it's so much harder to predict. If it's a best of three, I'm like, yeah, I mean, Bisu should beat Ample in best of three. But a best of one, you might just catch him, man. Who knows?
Yeah, it's... Yeah, no, this is going to be a super fun group. Let's talk a little bit about the year that these guys were dominated. About between 2006 and 2009, I would say. These guys, this was a period where StarCraft really became, I think, understood in a way where, you know, if you almost like with chess openings, we have like all the lines kind of figured out. We know pretty advanced stuff and how to approach it. Mm-hmm. And these guys kind of carried StarCraft into this level of strategic greatness where the game was getting bigger and bigger in Korea. There was so much hype around it. And this is all before StarCraft 2 hit. I mean, this was really, I think, a period of kind of the birth of true StarCraft competitively as we know it is off the back of these three guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, truly the modern era is from them, is from that era, and that's why it's so rare to see someone like Oregon make it in, for instance, is because the peak was just so different from 2007 onwards, right? Like that's, and these guys were at the forefront of that, where it's like no one took over from them before that era ended and went into StarCraft 2. So, yeah, I mean, the way that we
What?
Where were you planning on taking your truck to have somebody look at it?
Probably Gatto's. I don't know, though. I gotta set up a time. I work.
No, I know. That's why I'm asking you now.
I mean, I could call them.
Are you sure it's not a battery?
No, I'm not sure of anything, but it doesn't make sense if it's bad. I literally just replaced the batteries right before I came home.
That'll mean nothing. I myself have bought batteries that were bad to begin with and didn't realize it, and they only lasted me a few months and I had to replace it.
Doesn't matter. There's no way I can test it. The only way I'm able to know is take it somewhere. Why? What's your...
Well, because I know you're off on the weekend. That limits you. But...
Well, I'm doing this on the weekend, so I'm either gonna have to wait till next week or I have to
Well, because you have AAA, so AAA will tow you wherever you need it to go. You just need to find out where you want to take it. And if it's Gatto's, maybe you should call them. What time are you starting this on Friday? I know you said.
One.
Okay, so in the morning time, you could still get it towed in to Gatto. Well, I'm just trying to figure out a way to help. I know she goes back. So, or I schedule myself trying to figure out if you know you're getting it towed there, you're still going to have to.
Yeah, well.
You know what I'm saying? That way it don't mess you up and you can try to.
Yeah, no. Over, and I'm not sure causing that. I'm go to you guys. I live just up the road. 10 minutes. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Me and my girlfriend. give them a call now, and I'll let you guys That's someone will be here. Still gonna be. Oh, my battery. Walmart. So less than 6 months.
About
Very tail end of my.
your
When I broke down, remember? Battery, because
that's right.
yeah, so it was less than 6.
Probably right at
Oh no, they last like
3 years. I forget what the one
yeah,
miles.
3 years. It's a
Do
3.
battery.
It's a 3-year warranty. Well, it's 1 o'clock now, so they should be here. Out of book.
Well, it doesn't do any good. I mean, it might as well be.
Yeah. Well, I planned on. I said I'm off Friday and Saturday. I'll call you. Dumbass was fucking trying to slap all my. Yeah, and those trucks are powerful.
And
So
they're
when you
supposed
do that,
to.
report. So it would.
Well, that's why you can pull. I'm only. I'm just.
Actual
My
number's
legal
higher.
number
Actual
is
number's
5.
like 20,000.
My number. No, that's a shame. With like a cheap SUV. And anyway, it's a shame because somebody who does what you could have pulled those heavy ass SUV all back of your backseat.
Yep.
Understand, look at the game is built off of what these three have done.
Yeah. So we're going to start this off with Bisu versus Ample here. This should be a fun one here. Bisu, you know, an absolutely terrifying player in PvT, but Ample, he's a very crafty guy. He just needs to win one game. Let's see what happens, man.
Let's see it. Polestar.
All right, we've got cross spawns here. Bisu in the top right, Ample in the bottom left. And I would not be shocked if this is one of the most watched StarCraft days ever. Like this match.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of hype around this. In Korea, obviously, a lot of people have been super excited to see these guys duke it out, bringing back a lot of old fans of StarCraft from back in the day. And at the same time, you know, you've got all these people outside Korea. Like, I've had 3 different friends, none of which they don't know each other, all deciding to come back and start playing again, or to start watching StarCraft 1. These are like guys from way back when. Yeah. You can see in the Freak Up studio, it's completely sold out. I know a lot of people flew in for this. Congratulations if you were able to get a ticket, by the way. Tickets were almost impossible to get to this this event. You probably could have sold a lot more seats and put this in a lot bigger of an arena,
oh, yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I think this studio fits about 300 people, something like that. But yeah, I mean, there were so many people eager to jump on this. So cool to see. So, you know, decent amount of foreigners down here
this
for
is
this
Eric.
as well.
No question. You know, this would be like It's like a bucket list level event that you wanna go and see. By the way, we just saw a stat in the bottom right. Bisu has the second highest PVT win rate in ASL after Snow.
That's right.
That's pretty awesome, because a lot of people don't even think about him for his Protoss first Terran, you know, because his Protoss first Zerg is so legendary. But just a fun stat there for you to show this guy. And legit, he's super good Protoss first Terran. It doesn't stand out like Snow or Best, where they have like these crazy styles that you look at, but the fact that it's a higher win rate than Best really shows the type of level that he plays at.
Yeah, Bisu's going to go for the gateway expand here. And by the way, his PVT, it's very well-rounded. I don't think there's anything he can't do. We've seen him do, you know, kind of old school Arbiter style. We've seen him do crazy proxies. We've seen him go for Reaver with speed, sometimes even with mass shuttles. We've had carrier tech from him. So, I mean, I think it's very tough to know what kind of game Bisu's going to bring, but he can pretty much do it all. This game, he did go for what I think he's chosen to do more in the last couple ASLs than anybody else, although this build is very trendy in general right now. But it's going to be the gateway where your expansion is, so you can get Zealots across the map a little bit more quickly. And this is generally not intended to do real damage, but it does force the Terran to behave a certain way. They have to get a couple of Marines out. They can't do anything crazy cheesy like go command center first or try to take a super fast command center on the low ground without possibly being punished here. In a lot of ways, this makes, the kind of barracks command center play much harder to pull off. And you know, from there, you're basically going to be going for a factory, trying to push out to expand, but it kind of balances things out.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to hedge against the quick command center builds, you know, whether it's just like a one depot command center or, of course, command center first shouldn't be done anyways. But, you know, those types of builds, especially with how popular Nexus First is, if you alternate this build and Nexus First, like, Terran just kind of has to factory expand against you, you know? It's a good, like, coupling of builds. And these are really the two most popular builds right now. Like, almost every game on the ladder that you'll see is one of those two.
Yeah, it's a great way to play. So he's going for Dragoon range. I don't think a ton's going to happen right away here. We'll probably have the Robo come down here unless there's a surprise tech like right now. You know, we do see some players, and this is way less trendy, but go for the Citadel and try to run DTs across the map. Sometimes Terrans will be a little bit greedy and not get the eBay here. But yeah, Bisu versus Ample, this is going to be such a fun match here. I'm so excited for tonight's games. I feel since this group has been announced, I've just sort of been waiting for this moment to finally come. I've been thinking about this so much. I've been so excited.
It's kind of brutal that it was Group C. While we were casting last week, I'm like, damn, I have to wait a week now for this. But yeah. And the funny thing is that the group is so good that today is the first time you and I have talked about Ample versus Bisu. But this is like a legit match that I would be looking at in the round of 16 and be like, oh, this is a great match, actually. Like, Ample's in so good shape, you know? Like, let's see what he can bring out against Bisu. And so far, he's playing like a very solid, stable game here. It looks like he's going for mines, and he's skipped the bunker, which is nice. And, he's even going to bring his Marines forward. So, bringing the Marines around the side like this is... Like, if you go only Vulture, I like this move. Because a lot of people will make the tank, right? And move out with the tank. But if you want to skip the tank, you can bring the Marines, and if they take that third base, like one of those super fast third bases, sometimes you actually just get a cancel with the Marines and Vultures. But he's not doing that, so it's not a big deal. But like, I like what he's doing here. Oh, Bisu scouted an unbelievably fast third base. That is that was huge like scout.
Literally perfect. Is that like a 5-minute, 30-second timing scout? He like got there right as it was going down. Third bases are
I got
in
chills.
Games like this are pretty rare, like super fast third bases.
That is a specifically Ample thing. Just so Bisu's really done his homework, because I watch a lot of Ample games since he's been at the top of the ladder for like a while now, and this is one of his strongest builds where he takes an unreal fast third base for Terran, unreal, and he just kind of nails everything. And if you don't scout it quickly, you're in trouble. But Bisu literally looked for that and instantly threw down his own third Nexus. And you know what? He should throw down a fourth Nexus as soon as he can. In fact, if he makes that other Nexus location look like his third Nexus, Ample will just have to defend normally, and Bisu, I think, gets ahead.
Okay, One Mind does end up hitting on that Dragoon. He's going to both push out and try to poke this while he's taking a super fast third base. So I like the idea. Sometimes you can try to hit the Terran as they're taking a third base, and you'll end up failing just because it's like hard to get observers over there and then get the material necessary to actually dismantle the position.
Yeah.
3 tanks with siege mode and like a turret or 2 usually is enough to hold off anything you've got. Bisu is going for a Robo Bay here. He's going to go ahead and pick off that one. Oh, hold on a second. The tank's going to siege up. Yeah, he has to back up. Takes out the Vulture. And, you know, we're in kind of a rapid macro game here. Both sides growing very, very quickly. Ample was pretty safe in how he took that third base. And I don't think there's any real way that Bisu can punish. It's certainly harder to do cross spawns, but even then, I mean, this is probably going to be a situation where I think Bisu needs to take a 4th base.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, how fast can you take a 4th base? Can you take it off of just having 2 gateways? That doesn't feel safe, but
no,
you know, people are getting so good at corner cutting now.
Well, that's why I was kind of suggesting if he takes a 4th base right away, he should be able to keep pace with the macro that Ample's going to put out. Because Ample's going to have to buy turrets. You know, he doesn't know what's going on, but you have to assume the worst, right? Like, you have to look at this and say, probably a Reaver's coming, and defend against it. Because if you don't, the Reaver just can basically kill you and end the game. But this has slowed down Bisu's 4th base. And you got to be careful, because when Terran gets a 3rd base this quick, man, if they go into an 8 or 9 factory timing push, like, they're going to be moving out by 12 minutes with like 150, 160 supply, which is insanely strong against Protoss right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we are in such a crazy developed game here. Yeah, 3 bases is already scary, like how quickly this was taken here. We're going to see a huge explosion of factories. I like the idea of getting the shuttle and the Reaver up and at least forcing turrets up, because otherwise the Terran can just, if they skip turrets, they can throw factories down so fast and push you and just kill you.
Yeah.
So this is smart, even though it's probably not going to do a whole lot. At least it forces some honesty out of the Terran, some level of respect here. We don't know what the definitive late game tech is going to be. You know, we see the 4th base is almost done. We see the Citadel is finished as well. But it's not clear that it's Arbiters yet. We don't see any carrier tech. We don't even know if it could be, for instance, just Templars with shuttle speed, something like that. You know, using Psystorm is basically the late game tool.
Well, looks like he was waiting here for shuttle speed. Gonna go ahead, fly over that first missile turret. There is a secondary one waiting for him. And really well-placed turrets there. Really well-placed. And in fact, he's going to be able to kill this Reaver super fast. Oh, he missed it. He doesn't get the last shot off there. So now the Reaver is actually going to get a bit more damage. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, not getting a whole lot done there.
No.
Just trying to see if he can't come in and get some SCV kills. You know, when you put that extra turret in the middle of your base, you're kind of ensuring you won't die to any kind of weird kamikaze shuttle play.
Yeah.
Some kind of suiciding in of all these units. Bisu's a little bit late transferring workers to his 4th base, and he was actually, we didn't have time to talk about it, but he was actually a little bit late transferring workers to his 12 o'clock base here as well. But we're really ramping this up to a pretty crazy macro game here.
Yeah, this is going to get really big really fast. And Ample's attack is, it looks like it's going to be on time. So that's 3, 6, 7 factories so far. Obviously, he had to build a lot of missile turrets, and he had to run some SCVs away, so that kind of slows your production at least a little bit. But he's already got a lot of units, as you can see, right? Like, he's really... This macro opening from him is going to give him a very strong timing attack.
Yeah, I'm a little scared for Bisu right now. I think Terran's looking really healthy. I don't know that he has Psystorm here. Generally, when you see, like, mass Vulture tank in a game that looks like this, okay, he does have Templars. You need to Psystorm tanks and Vultures. You need to hit them as they're moving, you know, spam out some Psystorms and try to take the game that way. There's 2 other shuttles that are going to be full of Zealots. Is he going to actually go for this, or is he going to run back?
Yeah, I think you have to run back until you have those Zealot legs, right? If you don't have Zealot legs, you can't really engage the Terran army when it's moving across the map. But he's going to have to, like, play this really strongly positionally, Bisu is, because Ample's already mid-map with a gigantic army. If you take this nice and slow, it's so hard for Protoss to break it. Like, this type of push is the most popular thing in Terran versus Protoss right now is this 3 base, like 12-ish minute. And in fact, he even moved out faster, right? Like this is incredibly fast how Ample's moving out.
Yeah, now Terran, you're just trying. Oh, hold on a second. We're gonna have him attack in here now. The shuttles are gonna come in. He's gonna try to unload right on top of these tanks. We have the Templars coming here as well. Nice size storms.
Dude, Bisu's
oh
so
my
good.
God, does he actually? Yeah, Bisu's so skilled at this.
That's crazy. Oh my God, look at that push.
Yeah, pretty beautifully done. And what he does now is he just needs to back up. I think there's a probe over at 3 o'clock. I think he's going to try to take the 5th base there. But, you know, once you've killed off that many tanks, and what is he at? I mean, that must be like 12 gateways or something, 13 gateways. I didn't have time to count. If he can come in here and clobber this attack one more time, it's going to be huge. He killed off so many tanks in that initial attack. Yeah, I mean, this is such a weak foothold here in the middle. Not really generating any threats anywhere. Ample's in a little bit of trouble, Artosis.
Yeah, he's definitely in trouble. I don't think he should push further. I actually think hunkering down mid-map like this and laying mines on the side and trying to play kind of a reactive game here while threatening a push and never doing it, I think that's the only way to really come back in a position like this. Like, not that he's 100% dead, but Bisu has definitely taken an advantage from here. You know, like, he killed so many tanks. It doesn't feel like you can actually push through his army anymore. But, you know, having forward positions that kind of slow Protoss movement are underrated in general, I'd say, right? Like, making Protoss run around like this, you can just kind of shift your army down, lay some more mines, just exactly like he's doing here.
Yeah, he's going to send these Zealots in over here. And, you know, the problem is the tanks are all fragmented. He's got 4 tanks over here. There's a bunch of other tanks that are off screen now. And as long as he gets a couple of these Psy Storms out, I mean, the Psy Storms are so painful. He's going to hit a couple more positions here. Oh, my God, those tanks are so weak. If he gets the next group of Zealots, I think he can come through here and topple this.
Yeah, more Zealots getting on top of these siege tanks here. And, well, it's kind of a trade, but these types of trades are so much better for Protoss. If you kill all the tanks, like, that's really what it comes down to. You generally don't want to lose all your goons, but if you get all the tanks at the same time, it's totally fine. Like, you just... keeping that tank count low, there's just no real attack that can come up from there. And look at this supply, 89. Anytime you're dropping below 100 supply as Terran, it's pretty dire. Like, Terran needs to scale. You're really... you feel as Terran like you need 150, 160 to really play the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this was a fantastic game here from Bisu. Obviously, it's not over yet. Terran is going to try to take 6 o'clock. The middle has not been cleared, by the way. Bisu's kind of run around and is basically hitting this soft spot over here. But he eventually is going to need to get some Dragoons out and try to clear the center. I don't know if there's actually tanks over there or not.
Well, he's got a couple tanks at this 3rd base, but going to drop out some High Templars. Okay, yeah, he does end up storming the SCVs some and actually kills quite a few. There wasn't even that many SCVs there. Actually, kind of a surprisingly low number of SCVs were at that 3rd base. So he doesn't take as much damage as I guess he could have. But Bisu's taking a 5th. He has a probe in the top left, ready to take another main. Just...
Hello, sir.
Hi, sir. This is...
Hello? Yeah, that's it. Right.
Just looking fantastic. Just straight up strong play from Bisu. And good prep, too, to scout that fast 3rd. Imagine you don't scout that fast third and you're getting like an observer and making goons, and you take your third base like a minute after Terran. Like, you're in a terrible spot when that push comes. But damn, Bisu has nailed this game.
And it really was like a perfectly timed scout, like 5 minutes, 30 seconds. He's going to drop in here again, by the way. Now, notice at 6 o'clock is being taken here. So, like, this isn't exactly the most efficient attack in here, especially with Terran growing into the bottom spot. So, I'm a little bit worried for Bisu here. I feel like this, he may be trying to force this a little bit. If he actually takes the third base out, it doesn't matter. He'll be fine. But, like, where these tanks are on the low ground, that's going to be so hard to uproot.
Yeah, getting any damage in here is pretty good, though. Look, he's barely mining from this base, so it's, like, hard for Ample to even produce out of all of his factories, right? Like, he's got to make more SCVs. Yeah. He's got to re-wall. Well, I guess he doesn't have to make those depots again that he lost because his supply is so low. But yeah, right now, 60 supply advantage for Bisu. That's not a position Protoss often loses from.
Yeah, no, he's in great shape. He's taking another base here in the top left. I guess the only thing left for Bisu to do is to clear the center. You know, there's still a lot of mines, a lot of turrets over here. You got to be careful, especially when you're running around with pure Zealot. It can be very, very difficult to actually, you know, not run into a bunch of mines and just lose everything. But he is going to kind of try to run around here regardless. Again, he's coming through with these very small armies. I assume there's Templars in here. If he can do a couple more storms over here, would be nice.
Yeah, definitely losing a lot of units down the bottom, but at least he's pushed most everything back at that point. He has a Nexus in top left. Probe's going there now, just now starting to set up some defense and maybe some gateways up there as well. You know, he's growing very well, but, you know, Ample's playing well, despite, like, what a bad position this has become. The fact that he's got his fourth base up relatively quickly, you know, maybe there's some comeback potential there because of that.
Love the Psy Storms. Don't know that he gets any SCVs with that, but those are going to be soft and squishy for the next Psy Storm that's going to come in there. But, you know, in a game where it looked like Ample was pretty dead, he's kind of stabilized. I think Bisu was trying to be a little bit too fancy, you know, with some of these, like, guerrilla attacks here and there.
Yeah.
In different sides of the map, where I think really trying to clear the whole center and max out and prevent a fourth base. He basically was hitting this third base when the fourth base was actually being taken.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was really nothing over there either. And you're right, if you clear the center, then you can choose where to attack. That's why that center position can be so strong, is like, well, he's on the left side. Okay, well, maybe he wants to attack 6, but he has to walk all the way around. So yeah, clearing the center, I think, is probably, it's like one of the first things you really want to do in Protoss vs. Terran.
So, I mean, I don't know that he can get in here now. I mean, when you're at about 150 supply, Terran's pretty hard to fight head on, especially if they're sieged up and kind of waiting for you to come in here. He can at least keep him off of that 5th base location in the center left. He's going to come in here and drop again. Probably a big storm drop coming up here. No, mass Zealot drop. Oh, my God.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's just going to try to brute force his way in like Best or something here. And he has a lot of Dragoons up here. This could be one of these positions where you just right-click on the command center. With that many Dragoons, the tank's a bit out of position. Like, he could snipe that if he really tries. Yeah, and he's going to go for it.
He's going to go for it. This is a great play.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be able to get away with this, but he absolutely did it. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a real uphill fight here for Ample. Ample's actually, he might be able to trap some of this in here. He might be able to push this into a corner.
Yeah, he can probably kill a huge amount of these Dragoons, but, like, I would still say that was basically worth it for Bisu. When you lose a command center as Terran, it's incredibly, incredibly painful. I don't think he should attack the economy anymore, though. Like, okay, see how he's coming in with another drop here? Like, I get it, but the SCV count is not super high already. It feels like diminished returns at this point. Where, like, okay, the only thing left for you now is to reduce the army size. Because you've already reduced the economy so significantly so many times. If you just continually attack like siege tanks basically and trade for siege tanks, Ample can never get a foothold on the map.
Yeah. I mean, Bisu's basically in control of almost the entire top of the map here. He never made a ton of gateways in the top left. He's had most of his gateways in his main. Ample has been beaten down pretty badly. He is going to reclaim that third base by taking the Nexus from his main and relocating it over there. And yeah, it looks like if there is a push towards the top left, he wants to hit it with a counterattack. That's so many tanks. Oh my god, if you could Psystorm that, it would be insane.
Yeah. 2-2 upgrades there on both sides last I've seen. So both of them keeping up with upgrades really, really well.
Yeah,
and here comes,
I think, for Protoss, actually.
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, Bisu coming in with another big attack, and let's see how these Psystorms actually hit. Hit some okay ones at the top there, okay at the bottom as well. Wow, that's a lot of Zealots. Oh my god, that's a lot of Zealots.
He's making it work. He's going to have those go right through there. He's going to have wiped out all of those tanks. That was like the vast majority of all the tanks that Ample had. I think he might be tapping out. Because now 6 o'clock is going to fall. And at this point in time, you know they're going to be able to take the bottom right main. Yeah, GG Bisu. Pretty masterful PVT there.
Really?
Got a little shaky in some of the mid-late game, but honestly, like, that third command center scout at 5 minutes, 30 seconds, that was beautifully done.
Interplays here.
And he knew exactly how to...
Hang on, Carb. Be right back. Interplays here.
Hello? Huh?
Inspector Penis.
totally killing the battery, and that's what's happening. He goes, you just needed a jump, but yo, I gotta drive my truck up to the mechanic real quick. I was able to get it jump started, but I think something's killing my battery. So I'll be back. I like that guy. Why?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I didn't buy anything. I have no idea. $274. I have no idea. The only thing I got.
I don't know why you do that.
I'm not trying to have my fucking negative. My account a negative.
No, I don't know why you don't just keep all your money in your account. That's what I'm saying.
I do. I have 8,000 in my account, but I have my 8,000 in my savings, and I have the rest in my checking. I have two separate
Yo,
accounts.
let me get that
I'm
8,000.
trying to keep.
Bartux, do you want an investment opportunity? I got
Oh.
I
you.
don't know why there would be a hold on it because I haven't done anything.
Usually when they do that, it's because there's suspicious activity. Somebody bought something. There's a pattern. When you're using your debit card all the time, there's a pattern. So, does it tell you what the purchase was or where? No, I would get a hold of them and. All right, well, I guess you have to wait then. I don't know. All right, well, guess I'll see you in a minute. Did you get your Kaiba? Kava? Or whatever the fuck it's called? Kava?
Yeah, you stupid motherfuckers. Just have-
Oh. I don't want to go to work tonight, but.
I'm here.
Alright. Oh my god, my ears. Jesus. Hello?
Ah,
You're back.
what's up? Hey, ask Bartux if she wants an investment opportunity with that 8,000.
For what? Invest in what?
I'll ask the questions.
No, because me casa su casa, bitch.
I'll ask the fucking questions around here.
I think my alternator is going bad in my truck. Pretty sure I'll be shocked if it's something different.
Sounds like it, dude. Maybe a old battery, man.
No, I just replaced the batteries. It's not the battery because I just had it tested. Literally, that's what AAA was doing when they were here. He was able to give me a jump start, and he goes, "It's not the battery. It's something else draining it."
Alright then.
But you could check the cell life on a battery.
Alright, CO. Most likely that it is a. Ooh, is this Ice Blast?
I mean, I got over 500,000 miles on it now, right? So, shit. Hold on.
Yep.
Game's still on, though. I don't know why this is not coming on my monitor. All right. Oh, open beta's still on. Still running around.
To handle it. He got a quick third. He got the shuttle speed with the Reaver. Took a quick fourth, just macroed up, and then went into kind of like one of the more standard late game compositions. So like, you know, Dragoon, Zealot, couple of shuttles with Zealots, but then also one key. I mean, your end game unit is
bro, I'm outta here.
one shuttle with the 4 Templars in there.
All right.
And you're just storming stuff down. Storm anything. It could be like 2 vultures. It's fine. Just keep storming stuff. And after a while, you know, those upgrades don't feel so helpful for Terran after all.
That is true. Great game from Bisu. Ample is a
I got 3
dangerous
now.
player. He gets past him with
Nice.
ease. Quick commercial break, and when we come back, what you've all been waiting for, Jadong.
Huh? Do you want to?
On this.
Why does this keep moving? I don't understand. AD versus Flash. Here we go. The big match.
Versus Flash.
Welcome to the showground. And now it's time to play. Welcome to the
Life is sunny, life's a dream. I get honey, I get cream. I get plenty, know what I mean. I get money, money is queen. Life is sunny, life's a dream. I get honey, I get cream. I get plenty, know what I mean. I get money. You know I got that energy. Rocket ship up to get to me. You know I like it when I see you up with the melody. You know I got the remedy. So sweet, what's the recipe? You know I like it with the heat. I feel the chemistry.
Like, when you do that, I don't think you do a 4-pool there. So, anyways, Jaedong, like, the fact that he chose Flash for this match just shows the type of shape that he's in. But yeah, when I assess it, like, odds and statistically and, like, what's a smart tournament play, I think a 4-pool is a great play here. But yeah, I that's not what I want to see. I want to see Jaedong play his style, his very decisive, awesome, high micro, high macro Zerg, and see if he can just take down Flash straight up, because Jaedong has looked like the best player in the world in the pro leagues and stuff leading up to this.
Yeah, and of course, Flash is just recently back, right? I mean, he missed several years of StarCraft Line, several ASLs. It's crazy these guys are now duking it out right here in this moment. It's going to be a best of one. We are going to Polestar for our map here. Flash versus Jaedong, two of the most influential figures in RTS history. Gods of their respective races in the past. Here now in 2026 in a fight to see if one of these two can get out of this group and go on into the round of 8. Oh my God, this drone. Oh.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
That was bad.
He's probably got a lot of adrenaline.
Okay.
He's got that look in his face, though, Tasteless. He's got that he's had it the whole season, whereas I don't feel like he's had it as much in previous seasons where he hasn't done as well in ASL, even though he's done pretty well in ASL. But, like, Jaedong is in championship form right now. He has gotten so many all kills between the KCM Race Survival Series and the pro leagues. Like, he has by far the highest win rate in the pro scene right now.
Guys, before this game picks up, please consider signing up for our Patreon. It's patreon.com/ASL English. We love doing this. We would love to earn your support if you haven't signed up and joined us already. But we want to keep casting StarCraft and keep this game and its story alive forever.
And with stories like this, we just have to thank you guys for supporting so much so far. Very much appreciated. Yeah. So do check it out. Patreon.com/ASL English.
So in this cross spawns match, I mean, Artosis, we were talking about, you know, would a 4-pool be worth it? It does look like, you know, Flash is going to go for the depot and barracks on low ground. The 4-pool would have been very strong here.
Would have been. By the way, Zerg versus Terran, Jaedong has the second highest win rate to Sulky, just like Biso has the second highest PVT win rate to Snow, and then in Terran versus Zerg, Flash has the highest win rate. I believe Flash has the highest in every matchup for Terran, because obviously he's the most... I mean, he's the greatest gamer ever to live. Like, love him or hate him, find him boring, whatever. Then look, it's a command center first. See, this is so Flash. This is why I, like, instantly when I saw the match, I'm like, he needs to 4-pool him. Like, there has to be a certain number of 4-pools against Flash to keep him honest. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, this is the, you know, one of the important things about cheese in general in an RTS game is you need to have, any good player has a number of cheeses there. And it's not about like, oh, you can't beat me in a straight up game or not. It's just that this will punish builds that are too greedy. So this drone, which is cross spawn scouting, is going to see that already Zerg's at a disadvantage. You're immediately going to come in here and see there's no way to punish this. The barracks is going to be done before your Lings can actually get nice shooting there from Flash.
Yeah.
Really injuring that.
I don't have to
drone.
work it.
And that's actually really, really important because if Jadon gets the heads up on that micro, you have to pull more and more SCVs down, right? But Flash has dealt with that very well. You can see how fast his gas is. Very high chance that he goes mech from here, by the way. Right now, Flash is loving Command Center first into mech. It's incredibly, incredibly strong.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know why, but it had not.
We are
occurred to
so
me that
close.
Flash might go mech at all. I guess when I think of other Terran players, I'm more likely to think that they would mech.
Yeah.
But mech is certainly an acceptable way to approach the game here.
Where's this
That
war
CC
at?
is
Oh,
done.
there it is.
We're gonna have the SCVs transferred over there right away.
I've got
I'm
an
curious
easy
how
day, Tom,
Jadon
too.
wants to play this because obviously the build order, the way the two build orders blossom
That calls
out.
the next 2 days.
Then
Jadon
I'm
is
off
at a
for 5
disadvantage.
days.
The command
Yep.
center being thrown down that fast is, I mean, you literally can't get a faster command center than what Flash did, which means like he's going to get more of everything sooner in this game. He's going to have more SCVs produced more quickly, which means he's going to get more minerals coming in to then make more barracks, make more Marines. So he's going to be really, really healthy here. And I don't know what exactly, Jadon can try to do to punish this or to play around. Is there, some way that he could try to be really greedy and take a third base? I'm not so sure.
Oh shit, DH found his 8-hour
Yeah,
tier list stream,
the
LOL.
greedy third base does.
He did what? 8-hour tier list stream.
He's steaming the tier list.
His shitty tier list. Did you see it? It's so bad. I don't agree with it.
You know that long-ass video he does. Is it?
Yeah, here, I'll show you. It's fucking bad, man.
I agree with stuff I saw.
I don't agree with everything. Dark. Did he make a video on it? No, he didn't. But he did he did make a, hold on, I'll show you it.
He's steaming right now.
I was streaming it. You can just go to oh, I guess we could do it that way too.
What kind of skills work the best? I've done a lot of tests on bosses myself, but I don't do nearly as
What
much
build just the bow
boss
sword?
testing as I do map testing. So, and I'm not like a pro bosser. I definitely have killed my share of tier 1 and tier 2 bosses at this point, even on hardcore, but I'm no pro though, so I'm not really the best for. I do know how the boss works though. I have intimate understanding of the mechanics, and I also understand how
He's admitting he's not a bosser.
mechanics of all these skills work and how they interact with it.
And he's
And
not
I've
a
also
bosser.
done outside third-party research and have gotten even third-party help in some cases to help inform me. And some builds have been added even, like Whirlwind, for instance, because now you can pot during Whirlwind. So definitely, just thinking about the various interactions of the new season as well when I make changes to these. And that's it. But they are pretty loosey-goosey, the exact order.
They're pretty loosey-goosey.
I would even say maybe these sometimes
Yeah,
get
he
less
always says
accurate
that his
this
list for
season
bossing
because
isn't the
There's
best.
a lot more testing and bossing that has to happen during the season due to changes that really establishes what the true meta is, like the very strongest killers are. So I might do an update. I typically do a small update to these lists, like sometime mid-season, if we learn more. However, that is the info we have currently, so that's
This
pretty
is
much
the first
best there
time
is.
I agree with
Thank
his
you so
assassin
much,
tier list though.
For the Prime, my man. I turned off alerts, but thank you guys so much, guys, for all the support. I'll still call you out, though. Okay. All right. Yes, Hydra is a starter. We'll go over the exact starters, of course, when we go over the starter list. All right, so this is my late game mapping performance data sheet. So this is all the data we gathered during season.
Dude,
13.
he did not. Dude.
Any build that is in this like tan color,
Yeah.
on the left hand side here,
Yeah.
has been
Has been what?
has been retested in season 13, which is most of them, the vast majority.
Bullshit, bitch.
And
I 100% do not agree with his enchant
didn't
sword
get
build.
any kind of changes.
No shot. It's
that
doing
would
nope.
require it to be retested.
Bullshit,
That were
bitch.
like meaningful enough to make me think, okay, we need to retest this. That being said, I do try to refresh as many builds as possible every season. So you'll see there's
That
still
one build
builds
is
that haven't been
triggering you
tested
so
since,
hard,
like, season
haha.
12 and season 11 for the most part.
Because I know for a fact it's wrong. I
even
know it's
one
wrong.
since season 10, because it just doesn't change. It is what it is. That being said,
That build did not get touched.
I look at those again.
They have.
So these are all the builds,
Dude.
and this is how it's been done. They've all been retested as of the latest closed
Yes,
beta
it did.
patch notes as well. The way this works is we
Literally
average
the best build.
top
Literally the
three-
best
we
build.
either top
Sork
three,
build.
tier 3
Literally the
maps.
best Sork build on their.
So we always use Blood Moon as
And I know
a
it is because I've seen
standardized
plenty of
test that is
videos on it.
required
It's fucking
for
insane.
the build. Oh, oops. Apparently I didn't get rid of those 2 cases. That was from 2 times
It did
fortified.
get some
That was
small nerfs.
That was fun testing during the beta, but it's no longer relevant. At any rate, we take always Blood Moon, either fortified or non-fortified, and they're 2 second best tier 3 maps that have high density, have either little to no immunes, and are good for density testing.
Let's see
in
what
their
he
tier
says
3.
about
So
it.
we really try to get a strong performance indicator on the build. We average their performance throughout all 3 maps, taking into account both their monsters per minute. Usually
But that'll
it's a
take him an
sample
hour to
size
get
of
to that
about a 1
LMFAO.
minute to 3 minute test for each map. Sometimes I'll do the test multiple times if I'm not satisfied with my gameplay or
I'm not
some other
satisfied with your
aspect of the
numbers.
map.
So can you
I
explain your
try to get the
reasoning for
most
this shit?
optimal
Because
maps for that build
that
possible
number is
with
not right.
no percent maximum life.
Explain your numbers, bitch.
Somewhere within a very tight range of density. But the way it
Ha, ha,
works,
ha.
though, is that it standardizes the monsters per minute to the density, and that is taken into account in this formula.
Why
here.
is this so
It also
triggering
takes
to
into
you?
His
account the base
ADHD is
density
so
bonus
fucking annoying. Look at this
of-
fucker.
So you got the D plus 100 that standardizes it to 100 density, and it takes into account the rare bonus. So the fact that rares from white maps are 200% more density, period. And that helps to standardize it to the actual density percent number, which is here, which is on the map itself. So that's good. And then, of course, these numbers here are used to make a bell curve. This bell curve is a skewed bell curve. It's skewed towards the top due to these handicaps here, so which is the subjective system. But the way it works, though, is that basically every number creates this. We find out what the max and the min is, how many tiers there are between the max and the median and the mean, and then we basically get the exact distance between each tier, basically, which is kind of cool. So I make this every season, and then yeah. So you can kinda see that. That's what all
I
this is.
understand it
That's
now.
what
Okay.
that all does. And then
So 624
of course,
and above
from
is
the bottom
S
to
tier.
the top, it's different distances. I kind of separate them a bit, make it to where nothing gets skewed too hard on one side or the other. And then I do have a handicap system as well, where based on closed beta limitations, I award builds either a 3rd or a 2nd tier above handicap, which is basically based on limitations. So, like, for instance, a build like Teeth, it's kind of a lot harder to test in beta than a build that uses poison facets. Why? Because a build that uses poison facets, you could get socketed items in the beta and you could test it. A build like Teeth, though, you need plus skill corruptions, and you can't corrupt in the beta. They don't want people to do that, because then they don't want people just sitting in town optimizing a perfect build instead of testing builds, because they want people testing the changes and whatnot and finding bugs. So they don't want people doing that, so there's no corruptions. So certain builds that require like +1 corruptions, or faster cast rate corruptions, or pierce corruptions, or a lot of corruptions, in general make them a little tougher. So there's basically builds that are really easy to test in the beta, which don't have any handicap at all, And then anything else with various degrees of difficulties to testing it and lack of optimization is given various degrees of handicap. I would say most builds have some kind of handicap, but I don't know what the percentage is. Maybe 60 to 70% of builds have a handicap, but then there's like 20 to 30% you pretty much test almost at max power. So that's why that exists. It's kind of a subjective thumb on the scale.
He made this thing. I don't know if you saw this thing, Theo.
Simulate just how strong or how much stronger the build
And this
should
is
be
what I don't
probably
agree with. Where is it at?
Its full power.
This thing's
or
pretty
near its
cool
full
though.
power. So that's, we use the handicaps to generate the final tier list, and that's
right
these
here.
numbers
Don't
are
agree with
fire
this.
missing
a
7 skills
final
and
assessment.
40%
They are
fire
just a
damage.
guided assessment.
Never seen that.
Don't agree with this.
All right.
Updated live from the Google sheet.
All right. So then, of course, we also have an overall class mapping score, class score, and bossing score. I do this every season based on changes in my experience during the closed beta. Once again, 70 plus hours, blah, 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 blah. We do all that testing, and then I'm like, okay, this is how I think overall, and this is how many S tiers there are now.
Oh, he changed Paladin
I think it's
again.
better than
For
that. I just
assassin
think it's a
versus
dumb
other
build, but it
classes,
should be
right?
at
So
least
if
A.
there's less S tiers and lower S tiers, they'll be scored lower. Class starter score.
He's got
this doesn't change
Assassin
too much.
over
I don't even
Barb
know if
as
this
a,
changed at all this
as
season.
a mapping score.
Basically, but mostly based on things like magic damage builds, high mobility, that kind of stuff. Basically,
Barb
they try
is good at
effective power,
mapping,
which is
like,
on
what?
the left-hand side of the tier list and infographic. And then class bossing score and total score.
Yeah, Wake of
Bossing
Fire is
I
faster.
I agree with his
affected by
bossing
things
score.
like
I agree
buffs
with
to
this.
abilities like physical.
The other one that I
abilities
might be
this
different
season,
is like maybe
like
Assassin
Crushing
better
Blow,
than
Critical
Druid, but
Strike,
they're about
Deadly
the same.
Strike,
I agree with
and
this.
then things like that, and just how much better they feel
Necro would be the
against
best if they
fortified
could
mobs and
survive, but
bosses
they
in
have a
general.
survivability issue.
And then we compile a total class score, which is
Barb
used
is good to get started and high end, but
that
WW is
overall
not
class
faster than
ranking,
Fist of
which
Fire or Wake
really
of
doesn't
Fire.
serve any purpose except for
I know it's not. I never said
curiosity,
it was.
knowing kind of in general if any classes are suffering like a ton, or also just knowing maybe if
I
you
agree
wanna
with,
invest in a character this season, what character is
That's probably
doing
why it's
better.
lower.
This could definitely inform you for like trade purposes too. Like if you know that one class isn't doing as well as others, maybe you play that class and then buy the gear for that class, which is cheaper this season because it's maybe not doing as well in as many domains, and then you sell, you know, all the gear that's way more expensive for other classes that are a lot more popular. So that is like, you know, some things
Dude,
like
he
IK
did.
set,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, that's used by
This
all
is
the
higher
barbs, right?
than this.
And like Tal's used by all the Sorks. So that could definitely
This
help
is one
to
of the
inform
best
that.
builds
It's
for
kinda
Druid.
interesting. All right, so that's pretty much the data sheet. They're always free to scroll all the way down and whatnot. Here's the key, of course, once again.
I think
So you
physical.
know what
I think
happened
physical
this season,
sacrifice.
retested for RT'd for all the builds that got changes during the closed beta, and there you
Is
have
almost as good as
it. One thing I should show is
Shock.
oh wow, bugged out. All right, so a fan made this. A guy named Contra used it making
Some of these
using
have a
Cloud
handicap, though.
AIs, so use the Claude or
So
I
it
think
could
it's
be
Claude.
higher.
Claude coding, and so this is actually before I even had my tier list and infographic ready to go. He actually just took my data sheet here in my Excel, and he generated this. So this is kind of cool. This is fan made though, so keep that in mind. Also, I can confirm there are errors in
Fan-made.
this, and typically there are when you generate things.
Oh,
with
someone
AI.
else did it?
So
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Like for instance, multi-shot Amazon probably
Errors
exists,
is-
but if you click Amazon, I don't think it's actually under Amazon. It's probably under a different build altogether, a different class. I mean, so the site you could filter by class, you could filter by role. Basically, you could search for the build. You could compare
Okay,
them
so
as
I would
well.
just use his
So you could,
spreadsheet then,
highlight different
LOL.
ones to compare. If you want to see like monsters per minute, it's pretty cool. This is just based on the data sheet, and then also this is the late game mapping tier list as well. So basically, a different visual, which is kind of cool. So I didn't make any of this. This is really cool though, right? So you can also do this as well. I have it linked as well as a separate link in the S13 tier list command in my channel. So you'll see that as the second link there, the Contra site version.
Did they update the maps
And
yet?
it even has the top bossers, top
I haven't heard about
starters,
anything.
all that cool stuff.
I've been working, so, I don't know.
And it has a legend and key at the top, so that's kind of neat. Yeah, he did a pretty good job there, and it's really cool. I have a lot of like software engineers, coders, developers on my channel. Like I've had Nick Blame, who made my Slambot for like the Slambot game show that I would run various seasons, which is kind of cool. I just have people that just do this. They just decide to do it for me because
all right.
I love how passionate, I guess, that we are in my community about
Top overall starters, Hydra.
just having fun
Wrong.
with the game and stuff and making cool
Summon
stuff and making
golems.
cool content. So
Maybe.
this is really cool. And yeah, there's like overall statistics.
This
and
is technically
stuff
good,
and
but I fucking hate it.
distribution of tiers.
Warcry
Like, look at this.
support.
This is really cool.
Inferno
So,
Firewall.
this is made using
Wrong.
AI, so this is kind of neat. So
Meteor.
there you go.
Wrong.
And yeah, you guys.
Well,
could
actually, I
definitely,
could see Meteor.
You guys prefer
Not
this
Hydra,
version,
though.
You could definitely pull this one up as well. But I'm always
Vengeance?
gonna keep updating, of course, my spreadsheet. So
No.
don't worry about that.
Well,
Spreadsheet is 100% my
this is
priority.
actually accurate.
But it is cool that
Skeleton
there's
mages are
someone,
pretty good.
and there's the community that's also
Summon Druid over
looking for other ways to
Amazon.
display
No
the,
shot. He doesn't have.
information and other things.
Does he not
So it's
have
kinda
one
cool.
Amazon build?
Also, I like to
He has
briefly
not
go
one
over-
Amazon build to start.
So this is the Project Diablo 2 Ultimate Farming Guide. For those that don't know, it's exclamation Ultimate Farming Guide in my channel. If you wanna
Hydra
follow
up
along
now,
with
they
this,
changed
I'm not
it
gonna go
again,
over it in
LOL.
detail 'cause I have videos on my
Again?
YouTube
It's top
that go
top.
over in detail, including one I made just last season. It is still relevant. That shows you.
I don't think
that
this is
now
accurate.
You don't just have the starting builds and their damage type.
Well,
in farming areas with their difficulty, magic find item types, and mobility and best damage types
maybe.
to clear the farming areas, and their rank from 3 to 1, 1 being the best rank.
Oh, he's waiting on
Only have
this.
That is
now
also
for the best
T0.
starter builds. You also have DH's picks: starter, build, best farms. In other words, I literally just tell you, I give you the answers. This is like the cheat sheet. So you want to know what I think the best farms are for various starters. Every starter in the game that is on my recommended starter list. Here you go. Recommended starter builds and best farm. No thinking necessary. I literally just take this information here. Minimum, minimum recommended mobility for the farming area, best damage types, and the rank, and I just distill it down into this. And that's nice. So you have just pick that second tab there. A lot of you guys are probably looking for how to optimize your starting experience in PD2. I'd say this honestly, I feel like
You don't
this
have it
guide
listed
benefits way more players than the late game mapping tier list does, which is really cool for people to understand the meta and to work towards GG builds in the late game, which is cool. And optimizing late game farming is cool, but I think the vast majority of players, if you have friends that are just starting out, or if you're like a PoE player just trying to get into the game, this guide right here is incredibly good.
It'll be on there after he
Gives you
posts
a
the
lot of
video and
useful
doesn't final
information. You get the
upload.
top starters. You know what areas are going to be the best for various damage types. You can see there's just a lot of really high quality information there. It's really cool. And I know my head's kind of covering some of it, but yeah, definitely check it out. I have my link, Ultimate Farming Guide, if you check it out on YouTube. Keep in mind this DH's picks is here. I even used to have it recommended best tier 1 and tier 2 maps last season here as well for starter builds.
D2R.
However,
Evo.
I have cleared them because, well, we
I
have
don't know
new
why
map
he put
immunities
that in
and we
there.
have new tier 1s and tier 2s. I don't know what the map immunities are yet, so I'm not going to put anything there. I'm not going to put anything there, but you're going to know at least how to farm your Lord Destruction farms.
We still
and
don't know
It's
them.
always good to farm good corrupted
How?
zones as well. But, of course, if you
Oh,
want to
no.
know how to farm good corrupted zones, that's where this really comes in handy. Because you get the best LOD farming zones, period.
That's
so you
crazy.
know what the really good corrupted zones are. And then you know what the best damage types for farming them are. So This list is still incredibly
Plague
useful.
Javelin, really?
You also know what like recommended mobility level is as well. Depending on the class, you know, some classes have no forms of teleport. Some classes have the best.
He has
forms of
Plague
teleport.
Javelin outperforming Wake of Fire.
There you go.
He has
And at
Arctic
least you have
Blast
good info
performing
there,
out Wake of
so
Fire.
I always like to show this. I still do need to
Lightning
update
Fury
it a
over
little
Wake
bit,
of
obviously,
Fire.
besides just the
It
tier 1,
does.
tier 2 maps. There's actually a couple of
Not
builds
according
I
to
don't
these
think I
guys.
have listed. So I'll have to finish that.
Not according to
Since
these
it's
But you
not
gotta
guys.
go get
updated
loot.
yet for the new season.
Wake of
This
Fire.
is also not 100%. This is, by the way, so the
They don't have a
significant
single
graphic
S
is
tier
updated
build
fully
for
except
Amazon on here.
map
Not one.
communities. This is not either, which is my ultimate solo farm mercenary guide. Exclamation ultimate merc guide. Ultimate merc guide in my channel. You check this one out, of course, as well.
They must not have updated
This
that
is an
all the way
incredibly
yet.
useful guide where you literally, for every late game build, you have.
There is
actually
no
save
way
all
Lightning
these, by the
Fury
way.
is
You
an
should starve
S tier.
them, whatever. They're very useful.
I talked to
And
Mark about
refuse
it.
to believe
as many
that.
people as possible.
Need density.
so
You
that,
need a lot of density.
Players have good info, so they don't get.
He said in
frustrated.
general, it's not.
They can
It's
farm
not as good as
efficiently
build as people think it
possible,
is.
and they can traverse the game as
As
efficiently.
soon as you run into
possible.
packs where there's
Well,
not
yeah,
like
these
super
three maps.
density.
Best starter,
It melts.
recommended starter mercenary types, and then key items, right? So no matter what your build is, it has the best starter
I don't
mercenary.
know. I watched videos on it. It doesn't seem insane. It seems okay. Doesn't seem crazy broken like certain builds are. It seems good. It doesn't seem fucking insane. Like
Did you not watch his
sack
videos?
builds. Oh, cool. His stream froze. I'm tired of listening to him anyways.
Missing 8 skills and 70 light DMG. And 1 tapping the screen LOL.
I don't know. I watched it. It didn't seem that crazy to me, but to each your own.
It's the strongest build I tested by far.
Yeah, but you haven't tested everything. It's the strongest build you tested out of everything you've tested, but you didn't test as much as a lot of people tested.
Like ever. In all my seasons.
Poison Strike.
I threw 1 javelin and the screen is gone LOL.
I try this build just for fun because I've never played it. But I'm definitely playing where is it at? Exploding Arrow. I don't think Fire Arrow is better than Exploding Arrow. I think Exploding Arrow is better. Because it hits further back. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
The poison Amazon builds are fast but gotta run back for loot.
I need to figure out why this thing keeps sliding. Well, we might as well do all this shit now.
Mowgli playing Paladin.
Alright, let's do this bridge. We need to fix this mat. Are we moving this mat? We need to move this mat. Don't stop. Slide. This goes. Doing? Assuming this goes on the ground. Yes, I'm totally guessing. Go! Oh. Didn't think this through very well, did we? You're gonna have to unplug it.
Quite literally last time.
Okay.
That's exactly how we did it.
Good luck, don't break it. Alright, I gotta figure out why this fucking thing keeps sliding. Every time I step on it, move around, it slides. My mat, my computer mat. I don't want it to move anymore.
It's moving on you?
Yes, constantly.
Does it got the pokey thing underneath? Or is
No,
it
it's just
flat?
really fucking heavy. Alright, let's take a look at this shit. Starting mapping bosses. Solo top 10 overall starting mapping / bosses. He's got Vengeance as number 1. Hydra. That Plague Javelin. I don't know. I don't agree with this, but then again, I haven't played this, so I don't know. I think the best way to start is definitely decoys into fucking exploding / fire arrow. But I mean, here, can you get up? Basically want it aligned with the wall and not keep moving. I want it just like that.
We
Where's that
should
now?
only need
Where it's at
one
now.
on either end. And this side is on the floor, so the white side goes down.
Okay.
Gotta peel.
Peel.
Be careful, they're very sticky. I usually get real right up to it before
Peel both sides.
I do one at a time. Off the other mat. I usually put the one on the mat first.
Okay. I want it.
Step on it. Wait.
Where's that shit? Yeah, it's moved already.
Moved.
Just kicked it back. Here. She had to like sit on it for a while. I don't know.
Well, that's because usually this goes on hard surfaces. Don't need it destroying up the... You know why you're having this issue. I don't know why you push that thing all the way up the wall, because when you go back, your wheels run off of it.
I understand that, but the whole thing shouldn't be moving.
Yeah, but that's ours because we're backing up and forth.
Okay, so
And I don't know if that's what's causing it. But just
Even-
pull it out of hair.
it's literally not even staying on the ground. Yeah, it's already moving. I feel it moving right when I walk on it. Whatever.
I don't know why you didn't have a problem with it moving in your room.
Because I had weights on it before, if I remember correctly. So
Always.
using these for a while. Oh. There. Stop!
Now you could have done that, he'd have laughed. But because I did it, I get yelled at.
You can't put your butt in somebody's bags.
I barely tapped it too. And this right here is ridiculous.
I have OCD so bad it's triggering me. Maybe so.
You have OCD on certain things, but not on others.
Whatever, that bitch ain't moving now. Oh yeah. I ain't moving now. Woo! Log in real quick. I want to see if it's working for you. Got it.
I've been. Stay a while and listen. Greetings. Excellent.
Alright, Dark Humility, where you at?
Because then they would look really like dark. We don't really want that.
So that doesn't matter too much, but what it does mean is like, so since we always test high density tier 3s and it's a requirement they're all high density tier 3s that are good for the build, even if the best, I guess you could say the best tier 3s change, so they're changing, right? We're getting a rotation on them. Different tiers, different immunities. Even when they change, there'll still be optimal tier 3 high density maps for each build. It's just now they're a little different. And sometimes those subtle differences might make some things, like maybe like fire type builds. Like last season, I'll give you an example. Last season, fire type builds, their best third tier, I guess you could say their third string, like tier 3 map, like the third best tier 3 map they had to run was a little less dense than maybe the third best tier 3, like a cold build had to run, right? That was a little bit the case. Maybe it's a little more dense, right? And that might be the case this time. So just keep in mind there's a confidence interval within like 1 or third, to 2/3 of a tier. It's pretty accurate, but just keep that in mind that the accuracy will still be very high even with the new map rotation, but it's still, there's a little bit of things there that aren't going to make it 100% perfect. Also keep in mind it's never perfect, period. Every season we're constantly making it better. I think this season is, I say this every season. I always say it's getting like really accurate, but this season I feel really confident. Like we've actually brought forth so many builds just using better testing and better optimal strategies that I actually feel like with how much testing we did, how much thorough, just all kinds of different maps and setups, I feel like we've got a very good handle on build strength this season. So that's really good, at least for late game builds. So I don't know, whatever you want, whatever you say, but it's never going to be a perfect process. And just keep in mind in general that even even as this applies to, which is late game solo mapping, this is not like something you have to follow, you know? This is just an indicator of how strong the build is, so that if you're a player coming back this season, or you're a new player, you don't feel duped by trying out a build thinking it's going to be good at mapping when it's not. So that's all it really is. And then you just know how much faster it could potentially run with a good build. And that's it. Of course, I have so many guides on how to make late game builds on my YouTube for both hardcore and softcore. So make sure to inquire on those. You know, one thing I've thought about is making even links to my guides on various build types, but to be fair, I don't have a link for every build. Just definitely consult my YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, type in a build, type in like charge bolt or something, and you'll probably find it. And there you go. Of course, there's other people who have made build guides as well, but it is what it is. So at least you'll understand how it works. Also keep in mind that my VODs, my videos from the Mad Lab testing from my Twitch, they're still up from the closed beta testing. It'll still be up for like 2 months, so you can also watch all the testing of virtually every build in every class if you go to my Twitch VODs. So it's not just the other ones.
Good riddance.
Okay, so that's a lot, but let's start getting into the builds. All right. So we're sub 1 hour still. We've gone over a lot of stuff, a lot of resources I have to offer. We've gone over a lot of specifics. Let's get into the actual builds here and what we kind of found testing them this season. Or not testing them, or just testing them in a previous season and where they're still going to be at. Okay. Do we have a moderator in the chat right now? Looks like we need some moderation. I don't know what this comment is. I don't know. Someone might want to check that out. Alright, anyway. Alright, Nova. Alright, so Nova received nerfs this season. Oh no. Nerfs. Now, I have plenty of videos from previous seasons on Nova, okay? And Nova is...
Can't wait till he talks about fucking Enchant Sork.
Important to note, it got its radius reduced, and yeah, yeah, I don't know, that's like a copy pasta or something. I don't know what that is, but probably I don't know if the mods are here right now though. I think they're just AFK. They're just lurking. Anyway, so Nova got yeah, so Nova got nerfed. It got its radius nerfed. Also, so one thing to note about the Sork this season is the Sork deletionist lobby, okay, was very strong this season. You know how there's different lobbies for, you know, like the bar buff lobby? The bar buff lobby really took it in this season, particularly melee buff lobby. Got in all kinds of very important builds passed in season 13. But the Sork deletionist lobby, however, though, the people that are in favor of deleting the sorceress from the game, they also got some important builds through the PD2.
Am I retarded? And why does his stream keep freezing? I am retarded.
These small nerfs to various like caster abilities in a lot of cases to kind of bring them more in line with the melee abilities to some extent.
Okay, I don't know why his shit keeps...
The Infinity Staff, Storm Spire.
Okay, something's wrong with my shit then? I don't fucking know. Oh, GG.
And of course, perform a little bit better on lower tier maps. There you have it. Charge Bolt.
I don't know why it's doing this to me. This anyone else? Oh, it's just this stream that's doing it to me.
It's decent, but it's not pleasant to run maps like this, honestly. I think
Not enough mana.
Yes. Salutations. Your presence honors me.
Clego full set is so good for low level duels. Just Clego Sword is really good
I need mana.
because it has 50% dead strike. I used to have
There you have it. Charge bolt. Meaning it's made it way stronger. And with a new itemization, like with Skyfall, so you could there's actually really sick one-handed orbs now that can allow for one-handed setups. And with the nerf to Ming Song, which also happened, +1 skill and 10 FCR nerfed, down to 5/75. Now you have a really strong one-handed orbs as well for pierce and for damage for both fire and lightning. And Ashuda's is also getting a rework, I think, last minute too, so that's going to be sick as well. So you're going to have a really good possible one-handed shield options as well, which is even better for hardcore because that means you have better block options too. So that's really cool. So there's actually some good things happening for the Sork as well. It's not all bad, but I'd say overall nerfs, but not everything. Chain Lightning actually came quite a bit up with this. This is a big buff going on there. Pretty sick. Coming up at least from like B to A tier, I think. I don't think I noted it on the biggest movers, but it's probably one of the biggest ones. And I even showcased this. So this is my first video, actually, my first mini guide and demo. Or at least the first build I've gotten to on the tier list that I've made a new one for, this brand new one this season. So check that out if you want to see how powerful Chain Lightning could be even in tier 3s. And to keep in mind, it's even better in lower tiers, so it's really strong. In this season, I made it to where every Sork build that has a decent distance from the enemies or that can fire at a decent distance, technically you can have a decent budget build even for mapping on those, so I was a little more lenient on it. I gave him a 1 check mark on a lot of these builds, just because it's a little bit easier to execute those, so yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, except I don't know why that's there. That's wrong. Okay. Yeah, the rest are fine though. Yeah, I guess I didn't catch that. But yeah, so that's really good. And then, so yeah, you could definitely do it a little bit on a budget to some extent, as long as it's no lightning means in the map, of course. You know, using this pus spitter or something like that. You know, just check out the starter mercenary. Remember for all of the ultimate merc guides, so you can just check that out. Anyway, all right, on to the next one. Teleport Thunderstorm. So this build is kind of interesting. So last season was the first time I tested it. You could literally just teleport around the map and your Thunderstorm will kill things at B tier. Think about that for a second. There's builds like Meteor and Inferno that cannot clear as many monsters per minute as just teleporting around with a maxed out T-Storm with Infinity Staff and Storm Spire on the Mercenary. Or with a Static Field Act 3 Mercenary with Skyfall, and then you get 2 Thunderstorms going off at the same time. Because the Skyfall Orb has implicit Thunderstorm. You can put that on the Act 3 Merc. It's kind of fun. I don't know if that actually does too much, but it at least looks cool. At any rate, best approach is probably Storm Spire Merc, Infinity Staff, and yourself. But the Act 3 Merc is Also a very solid approach, and you could also run that. So you could run double T-Storm. And I tried that out as well. Definitely performs better in lower tier maps, but in high tier maps, it's still crushing. Like, it's destroying packs of cows. Like, it's... You would think this would be garbage, but I made a video for this last season, so check it out if you're not convinced. It really isn't that bad at all. Like, it's very surprising how strong it is. Solid, fast build, man. All right, Cold Tree, Frost Nova. So, I believe Frost Nova got a slight synergy buff, but it also got its radius nerf, just like Nova. So, overall, it came down a little bit. Not big, not huge. Also, the itemization nerfs maybe a little bit hit it. But, you know, it's like a third of a tier. Honestly, when you get max FCR and Nova or Frost Nova, it's still feeling very smooth, very powerful. It's just, these are very expensive builds typically to get to, and, you know, they're still very fun. It feels like all gas, no brakes. It's really fun, but they're a little weaker this season. They're not quite as dominant. Definitely some, I don't know, very maybe justified nerfs. The only thing I think that's a little concerning is that they might be so weak to the point now to where they're competing more with Frozen Orb and Ice Barrage and Blizzard, which are much safer builds and they're a lot easier to execute. And I think most players would probably just rather go with Frozen Orb, Ice Barrage, Blizzard, or Chain Lightning than Nova and Frost Nova. Personally, this season, I would probably rather go Chain Lightning, Frozen Orb, Ice Barrage, or Blizzard if I was doing one of these elements, because Nova is, in my opinion, if it's not significantly stronger than those other ones, it's kind of not worth it, because you can just like get similar damage, similar performance out of something a lot safer. So yeah, I don't know. They might have, Nova might be a little over nerfed at this point, because like, in my opinion, it's a good thing when it's really strong, because it's really hard to get to it. It's really hard to get a build that executes well with it as well. It's still really strong. It's just, it's on the edge of like maybe not strong enough now. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's close. It's very close. Just my opinion though. As you can see, I mean, they're still performing well, but it's true. Of course, these are tested at both 200 FCR, you know, and slightly less FCR approaches with high damage, given the limitations of beta. And no matter what, Frozen Orb and Ice Barrage are always going to be really close in performance. They're definitely within the margin of error. Frozen Orb typically comes out maybe a tiny bit ahead, but, you know, it's a little bit of, it's, you know, there's a lot of, there's definitely margins of error. There are, for sure. Even with multiple tests. Frost Nova, still doing good, though. I mean, keep in mind on Nova, the good thing about Nova, though, is the Steel Carapace Sigurd's high defense approach, particularly on Frost Nova, that has like huge defense boost off of Shiver Armor, is still a very safe, very powerful approach as well. So there is tech that allows you to make Novas very safe, and also with all the one-handed approaches as well this season. So I don't know, there's definitely more options for Nova, but is Nova worth it versus these also very strong, safer approaches? It's hard to say. I'm not really going to go too much into detail into many of these. We did retesting on Frozen Orb and Ice Barrage this season because they haven't been tested in a while, but otherwise no changes. They're still very powerful. Blizzard mostly changed last season, but its main limitation is that small cooldown, but otherwise a crazy strong fortified mapper, and good in either fortified or non-fortified cows. Just important to note that Blizzard, very strong, also gets a very special mention on my list to the side there because it's very versatile. We also get Glacial Spike. Didn't change since last season. It just doesn't have a lot of AoE, but it can clear a map. It's just slow. So it's one of the worst mappers in terms of speed. We have Enchants. Now, Enchant, the damage doesn't really affect the bear so much because the bear, it's mostly about movement and not being able to teleport. That's really what limits it a bit. For the Widowmaker, though, and the other one, we retested it. Enchant did get its numbers changed. For some reason, it does seem considerably weaker this season. So not 100% sure why, but
Not 100% sure why.
I don't
Interesting.
know. It's probably about the same either way, but it's yeah. I don't know, because I was getting similar damage too, so it's kind of interesting. Maybe it's like a few K lower, but maybe that's all it really took. That being said, the exploding arrow version, the fire enchant version, is still performing incredibly well. So, not sure why that is. Maybe it's just because you don't need a fanaticism mercenary to get the max attack speed frames, and so for a bow sork, Demon Machine is just such a fast weapon that you could just have maximum pierce, and it's still like piercing insanely well and crushing maps. So versus maybe the other versions that require a lot more attack speed and a lot more other things. Widowmaker's a slow bow, so that's really what it comes down to, I think. And then of course,
He doesn't know why. So he doesn't know
what
why.
else is there very useful to talk about here? So pure cold enchant approaches, pure fire enchant approaches. Combustion. No significant changes. It does have a new orb you could potentially use now, though.